But now, fraud squads around the country are investigating an eBay scam. Hundreds of people have been left out of pocket after paying for Queensland holidays that don't exist. Now, it's thought the scam netted a Melbourne man upwards of $500,000 in the past few months alone. So how can we avoid being ripped off, and what can we do if we've already been caught up in a scam like this one? Well, Louise Sylvan from the Australasian Consumer Fraud Task Force joins us now. Good morning to you, Louise. Thanks for joining us. Basically what's happened with this one, isn't it, is buyers have been caught up paying for non-existent accommodation via eBay. They've paid for these holidays, the holidays don't even exist. What are the chances of them getting their money back?
Look, the chances are reasonably good if the police can find some of the money. They can return it to them. Some of these scams, of course, come from overseas, and if people send their money overseas, their chances of getting any money back are not very good. But if they've paid by credit card, or if they've paid through the eBay mechanism called PayPal, then they are protected by chargeback rules. So they should get in touch with their credit card company or with eBay as quickly as possible. Now, if they've sent cash, which we never recommend, so just transferring money from your account and so on to people you don't know, then fingers crossed the police can find some money in an account and possibly get it back to them.
Okay, so only if they can trace the money through this person who's allegedly done it. I also understand that some people overseas might have been caught up in this. Did the same rules apply for them?
Yes, if they've done it via credit card and so on, they have those chargeback rules available to them as well. It's obvious that we also think when you're transacting online, whether it's an auction site or any other buying online, you can't see the people. It's really worthwhile checking out whether they exist, actually finding other means, looking them up in a phone book and so on, just to see if they're really there. It's much harder and much more risky to do this than, walking down the street to your travel agent to buy a holiday. So a bit more caution is needed.
Because I understand this one came to light. People were ringing up the hotels supposedly to double check, and they've gone, no, sorry, we don't have your booking. So is your advice to, obviously when you're buying something on eBay, do the PayPal system that you recommend, you said, and also just double check, ring up and check and recheck?
Look, I think that's a great idea. Very often these fraudsters are actually using the names of legitimate businesses, so that if you just check if they exist and so on, that's not sufficient. So unless you really know who it is behind that online transaction, it might be a good idea first not to send money, check it out, and check it out by calling up or doing something you would normally do just to protect yourself.
Is this sort of scam relatively common, or has this bloke been a bit of a one-off?
Unfortunately, these sorts of scams are becoming more common. There's a huge increase in global mass-marketed fraud, so not just this type of scam in Australia. This kind of thing is occurring everywhere overseas. There's the lottery scams, the Nigerian scams, and so on. The British have just finished their study on global mass-marketed fraud, and they're estimating it's close on to £4 billion going out of their economy, and a good proportion of that is travel scams.
Gee, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Louise, thanks for your time. Some good advice there. Appreciate it.